Yes, people, what it do? Hope everyone's good, having a good week. You're back with your favorite gooner, your other host, man like Matt. And today we got a special guest with us. I know him personally from Nottingham. Andy's also a Nottingham Forest fan. Big up Deniro.
Oh
Thank you
man, what you
for,
saying?
yeah, man, definitely. Thank you for, wanting to come on the show.
No
Obviously,
worries, man.
we'll talk about Forest in a hot sec. Obviously, you guys got a big fixture coming up this weekend as well. We'll get into how you've been adapting to the Prem. It's been for quite a few years since Forest were in the Prem, so
hmm
especially for our generation, a lot of people didn't get to see it. So there is a lot to talk about. It is a big time for Forest right now, especially me as I'm from Nottingham as well. So I've always got, but I was more of a Notts County fan. I'll be real. We've always got a special place for Forest, though. Always a special place for Forest. All right, let's crack straight into it. Straight with the beef with me and Matt. We had score predictions for matches that happened midweek. Um, Obviously, some of you know that Fred was with us, but we'll just go through me and Matt's scores. So Matt said that Brentford would beat Chelsea 2-1. I don't know why he was on, but that wasn't the case.
Should have been, bro.
Um,
Should have been.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I predicted that they would draw 1-1. It was actually a nil-nil draw. So that's a point for me, which means I'm only 1 point behind Matt on the leaderboard now. In terms of Liverpool West Ham, Matt said Liverpool would win 3-1. I said 2-0. It was only 1-0. So we both got the correct result, just not the right score. We both get a point for that. And then finally, the United. We didn't do Arsenal PSV, but is what it is. But for the United Spurs game, I said Spurs would win 3-1. That was a bad call for me because Spurs were just awful, absolutely awful. Matt, you actually said it was gonna be 1-1 as well, so we both lost on that one. Obviously you would have been closer with the draw. But I'll be honest with you, Tottenham, yeah, shambles, man, absolute shambles. Obviously I know you. I'm guessing you would have watched the game, right?
100%, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know how you felt about that, man. How it was. Any players that stood out to you? Obviously with the Ronaldo situation as well. As a United fan, what are you saying about that?
Fam, undoubtedly our best performance under Ten Hag. And when I say that, I mean like for a whole 90 minutes. I think against Liverpool we had a solid first 45, but in the second 45 we pretty much just sat back and tried to hit them on the counter. Against you lot, like I've told you before, I wasn't actually that pleased with the performance, but obviously we got the 3 points. But this for me, from about the 10th minute onwards, was a complete performance. I think we defended well, we kept the ball well, and we created more chances against Tottenham than I've seen any team manage to do this season. I even think that our 2-0 performance against them was better than yours. I think in your game, a lot of things kind of went you lot's way. You know, they made a couple of mistakes. Obviously, they got the red card as well. But for us on Wednesday, we completely dominated them. We created so many chances. I couldn't even believe it, bro. Like some of the clear cut chances that we were creating against a team that basically defend with 8 players behind the ball. I couldn't believe it. On the counter, um, they were pretty much useless on the counter as they only really had Son as an outlet as they had to play an extra man in midfield because Richarlison got injured last week, I think. So
Yeah,
yeah, bro, like this was it was our best performance by far. Standouts for me were Dallo, our right back. I think he had a very, very good game. Was very good in terms of marking Perisic out of the game and was also a threat going forward as well. I thought Fred, who has faced a lot of criticism in the past couple of, to be fair, faced criticism throughout his whole time at United.
mm,
He was pretty solid as well. Obviously he got quite a fortunate goal with the massive deflection, but
Mm.
even besides that, his tenacity, the way he won the ball back, even creating chances as well. I thought he was very good. I thought Casemiro was very good as well, just protecting the back four, but also making those line breaking passes forward into our attackers. Bruno got man of the match. I think he had a good game, although I actually think before he scored, his performance was kind of dwindling. I think the goal actually saved his performance from actually going from very good to poor. So I didn't necessarily agree with the man of the match, but overall though he had a good game. Rashford I thought up front as well was quite good. Probably should have got at least 2 goals. But all in all, bro, very, very good performance. Obviously, your boy is CR37. I don't know if you want me to address him now or should I
Yeah, let's
address
talk
him?
about that right now, rude boy.
Aye.
You
So,
man's goat that said, you know
so
what?
Go
This is
to the game.
dead. Man said this is dead. Man was on Snap. One girl was like, "What you doing?" He's like, "Yo, I might as well fly over now." It was that real, like.
bro, you see the thing? Like, okay, so I didn't actually know like the full context of everything until today. I wasn't aware that Ten Hag actually wanted to bring him on. I thought the reason he walked off was because he realized that he was not going to come on at all. So even with me thinking that he just walked off because he thought he was going to come on, that was already a problem. Although I thought, you know what, if that's the case, it's probably not that bad. But the fact that Ten Hag said he wanted to bring him on and Ronaldo said nah and then just left the stadium, yeah, that's not acceptable, to be honest. I think it is getting blown out of proportion a little bit, obviously because it's Ronaldo. But I mean, it is what it is. I get why he's feeling the way he's feeling. Like, yeah, he was our top scorer last season. He's not too far removed from being in that sort of top 5, top 10 Ballon d'Or conversation. And now all of a sudden he's getting benched for the likes of Rashford up front, who isn't traditionally a striker anyway. But at the end of the day, bro, like I've told you, we are doing fine without him. We do not need Ronaldo at this point in time, bro.
At this point in time, though,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
I don't know. For me, yeah, I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But like watching that highlights, obviously I know the match is gonna be different. But watching that highlights, I saw both goals. Fred's goal, very fortunate to go in, massive deflection. Bruno's one was good finish, of course. But as you said, he was about to what his game was about to start, sloping down. That goal lifted things up. For me, if United don't get that goal and Fred's lucky deflection doesn't go in, would you not argue and say we could have done with a goal scorer on the pitch?
Well, I guess you could argue, but I'm not going to argue that because the two instances that you spoke about did happen. And to be fair, I actually think with some of the chances that Rashford missed, I think on a normal day he scores those.
You sure about that?
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, he scored them against you, so I don't.
Bro,
I don't
don't bring
no,
man as a
no.
reference.
I have to keep reminding
Nah,
you, bro. I have to
you
keep
don't.
Humble him a little bit. Humble him.
Rashford doesn't get
Bro,
plus
he's
10
getting too
goals.
good.
Rashford doesn't get.
Those who forget need to be reminded.
Rashford does not get plus 10 goals this season, so don't be surprised when he's missing.
Wait, Kings, are you sure you're ready to make that bold of a statement, bro?
Bro, I'll die on that hill. Rashford does not get more than 10 goals this season in the Prem.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
In the Prem, he doesn't get more than 10.
No, he will.
If he gets the game time, if he gets the run of games, which he well, considering now he has done, I do see it. I can see it. I can see him scoring more than 10 goals.
There's a reason why he's not going to the World Cup either.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
What do you mean, who says that?
Who
He
said
hasn't been chosen in the last 2 squads. Can't see him going in now.
If Southgate could pick Rashford when he was injured and pretty much hadn't kicked a ball for Euros, he's definitely going to pick him for the World Cup now.
I don't know. It's Starboy Saka, innit?
Oh gosh.
Let's not do that, bro.
Starboy Saka, Foden, Grealish, Sancho. Is he getting in there? Sterling.
Rashford has a better chance of getting in the Grealish does, bro.
He doesn't though.
He does.
Doesn't, because Grealish has the Man City badge.
Nah, I don't think that matters much, bro. I don't. I mean, in normal cases it would, but Southgate doesn't seem to fancy Grealish too tough.
Well, we'll see in it. But for me, I don't see Rashford scoring plus 10. I don't see him in the World Cup. But I'm not being a United hater. Like, I used to think Rashford was hard in it, but I don't know, he's been hanging around Martial too much, so he's turned average. But yeah, we'll come back to United. We'll talk about their game on the weekend. Against Chelsea, big game. Obviously, as I said, guys, we've got Deniro with us, repping the Forest colours. I know on Tuesday you guys played against Brighton. 0-0. Did you manage to watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it, bro.
Yeah, what was your take on that? What things were you happy with the point, or I know the expected goals was looking a bit peak.
It was kind of peak, but obviously you don't have to draw me out a little bit. I'm just saying. So obviously watching the game, seeing where Brighton are in the league, I feel like Brighton are fairly comfortable in the Premier League now anyway. Them being kind of like a top 10, you consider Brighton now probably top 10, top kind of a top off side. Potter's gone, but like this, you could tell even when stats came up in the game, it said passes, defensive passes were more than going forward passes in the game from when Potter was in charge to when now he's not in charge and whoever's in charge of them right now. But going there, obviously, I did say a point would be strong, but realistically, where we are, we need to be winning games. But it's going to be tough regardless. With any game that we play this season, I feel like a lot of Forest fans, I feel like they've come into this Premier League season thinking it's going to be just like playing Stoke on Tuesday night, or it's going to be one of them games where we get a scrappy goal in the end. A lot of these teams in the Premier League have set up like, I've noticed watching us since the first game of the season when we beat West Ham. A lot of teams press us like we look scared when we're under the press. Like you can tell when Dean Henderson, the ball gets back to McKenna gives it back to Dean Henderson. Sometimes it gets to a stage where Dean Henderson kicks it and it goes out for a throw-in. Like, and it frustrates us as fans. From me watching it in the stands and stuff like that, it's like there's no composure at all. But I feel like I feel like a few players are scared in there. But back on the Brighton game, 0-0, boring game. In the end, I was happy with the point. But, at the minute, I just don't feel like we're playing to how we can play. I feel like when we played Spurs at home, even though we lost 2-0, Kane, you put him in front of goal. The goals that he scored is goals that you're expecting him to score anyway. But the way that we set up and the way we pressed them, the amount of chances that we had in that game, considering we're at home, it's probably, you got home advantage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be playing like that week in, week out, because realistically, we're going to be playing these teams. Like we just played Wolves and we lost 1-0. Brennan Johnson could have got us the point. Didn't really deserve anything out of the game, in my opinion. But, it could have got us a point. These points are so crucial. Like that Brighton game, that could be a very crucial point towards the end of the season. Like, you never know. But, I was fairly satisfied with the point. At the end of the day, it's a point. It's another point on the board. Obviously, I wanted the W, but, things happen. And, Brighton are a very good side. They could have punished us, where they could have punished us. Big teams like Liverpool, who we're playing tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff. Massive game. To me, one of the biggest games of the season. Just because, obviously, as Forest fans, we don't really get on with Liverpool. But yeah, massive game. We move on from that Brighton game now, and we go into the future games. Like we've got you lot next week, I believe, next Sunday at the Emirates, which is not a very exciting game. It's not exciting at all. I'm not looking forward to that game. But the Liverpool game tomorrow, I'm up for it. To be fair, 12:30. That I feel like if the lad's up for it and we give it to him, I'm not saying that we'll get the win, but we just need to leave everything out on the pitch.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is probably the best time you want to go against Liverpool. I know they beat City, but at Anfield, Liverpool are a different animal.
Even in that game, I thought, like, a lot of people might disagree. I thought Man City looked the stronger side.
Yeah, City were the stronger side, but yeah, it's the Anfield curse in it. Liverpool don't lose at Anfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a Forest fan, this will definitely be the opportunity you want against Liverpool. It's 12:30, it's in the morning. They've got to travel to Notts. You got the power behind the City ground. This thing is, it's a weird one with Forest because obviously you guys signed a lot of players in the window. Everyone knew it was going to take time for players to gel and start understanding the system. And with the Prem, it is a bit of a risk going in. Obviously, with the amount of acquisitions you guys had, was you concerned about how your team was going to perform, or did you feel this was the right way going forward and that you'll definitely stay in the Prem?
Do you know what it is? Obviously, I don't know if you paid attention to us much last season. We had obviously a fair amount of loanees. We had Keenan Davis, who was a very, very good player for us last season. Especially for the fact when he came in January, his first game was against Arsenal in the Cup. We had Zinchenko, Jed Spence, who's at Spurs now, not really getting a sniff, but now he's kind of getting into Conte's way of playing, so I feel like he will get more game time now. James Garner as well, a Manchester United boy. You know, I would have loved to have them players back, but it's coming out now that apparently Steve Cooper didn't want most of them players back. I feel like the only player that he wanted back was Keenan Davis, but Aston Villa were asking for £20 million price tag. He's not worth that money yet. Even though he's doing well in the Championship right now for Watford, they're not even doing that well. He's scoring them goals, but as a team, they're not doing too well. But realistically, maybe we went a bit overboard, but you know, the players that we have signed, I'll make a few mentions. I think Dennis is doing okay. To say that he's not really had a run of games yet. Scored against Aston Villa, I think it was last week, put us 1-0 up. Taiwo Wanyi's doing okay. I think he's got 3 goals to his name now in the league, top goal scorer. And Henderson as well. I feel a bit bad for Henderson in goal because obviously, as a defence, we've let in quite a lot of goals, and it's looking like he's just letting all these goals in. It's all on him. The blame is always going to go on the goal.
So a stat actually about Forest that you guys have conceded countless goals from outside of the box.
Outside the box, yeah.
So then you could count them and say isn't that more of Hender's issues then? Because I understand defenders, midfielders are supposed to block the shot, but
if you look at our defence, we're missing one of our most key players in Moussa Niakate, who's our key centre back who we signed from Mainz. Very, very, very classy defender. Against West Ham, first game of the season, he showed his status. It's like Mangala, who's our centre mid, should be the first midfielder on the team sheet. Pardon me. With Niakate coming back, that will be a crucial player coming back into the team, along with him. Who I will play in that back line, I play a full-back. You've got Sergio Aurier on right back, who will be mine. Moussa Niakate and Scott McKenna. A lot of people have tried to draw out Scott McKenna. Okay, he came from the Scottish Premiership, come to the Championship, he was our player of the season last season. Come to the Premier League, I feel like he's been, out of all the defenders that we've kind of used, you know, you've got Steve Cook, who's, in my opinion, washed. Worrell, Willy Bolly Cummins not really done anything. And then we've signed a French defender called Bade, who's not even played a game yet. But in my opinion, I feel like McKenna and Niakate will be the strongest two at the back. I just feel like maybe we've gone a bit overboard with signing 22 new players. It's a case of like, will they gel? It's going to take time. Are we doing a Fulham? Are we doing a QPR of quite a few years ago?
Yeah.
Who knows? There's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time in the league. You know, we're in, what are we, in October? It's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. As a Forest fan, I know this. I know I'm going to be going to games, not really expecting much. Like tomorrow, going to go to the game. Going to be a good day out. If we can test them and if it can be an exciting game, it will be a good game anyway. The atmosphere will be there. The city will be bumping. Realistically, the Premiership is a roller coaster. And I knew this coming into the season anyway. But I feel like if you give us a bit of time to gel, I feel like everything will. Because there has been moments in games where we have played some very nice football, to be fair, when we've actually got the ball down and played and got players like Morgan Gibbs-White involved.
He's looking good, Gibbs-White.
He's looking good. Just needs to get him a goal. He's got a few assists to his name now. But, you know, players like that, I feel like there's a lot of... Jesse Lingard needs to get his confidence back up. Because as a player...
what's going on with him? I've been seeing him on the bench.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, yeah? As a player like Lingard, had a very good loan spell at West Ham. With a player like Lingard, I feel like his career is it's been a weird one, you know. I feel like he scored quite a few crucial goals for Manchester United. It's not quite worked out for him at Man U, and he did very well at West Ham. Coming to us, I feel like he wanted to re-spark his career in the sense of like he wanted to be a name that's going to be talked about in the Premier League this season or in seasons to come. He's 29 years of age. It's just been tough for him. I feel like, you know, with Steve Cooper, he's a strict manager in terms of if you're not cutting it on the pitch, like you're not gonna play. I mean, I feel like that's how it is, and that's how it has to be. Really, I feel like in any manager, you need discipline, isn't it? If you're not cutting it in a league like the Premier League, where the next man up, and that's the case with quite a few players. I'll mention probably one in Brennan Johnson. Not his biggest fan. He's young, but you know he's. Again, if you look at how he's playing, I think he's got a goal for us this season. Was our top goal scorer last season. I feel like he's bit off a bit more than he can chew, you know.
I mean, he's still adapting. The Prem's are the hardest league to adapt to, especially when he comes from the Championship. He's young. I see him when he play. You can see the potential there. He's just a bit raw.
Raw.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's a
feel
bit
like that's
raw.
the
It
word for it.
reminds me of not as maybe not as crisp, but it reminds me of a young Martinelli in a sense of when he gets the ball, he wants to drive. He's quite attack minded.
Direct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very direct, attack minded. But he just does a lot of things at like 100 miles per hour. He just needs to mature a bit more in his game.
Mm,
Similar with Dennis that you
yeah.
signed. I thought that was a good signing as well. I think Dennis is a good player. I feel like for him though, he's trying to prove himself a bit too much. So he
Mm,
just needs to, yeah, just take his foot off the accelerator a little bit, ease his way into having consistent games. Because when he
yeah.
comes on, he does look a bit very direct. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Cooper's telling him to be extremely direct, but it does mean that he's giving the ball giving the ball away a lot.
Yeah.
I did
Possession.
notice
Yeah.
that in against I think Wolves. So there are obviously there's pros and cons. It's still early days in the league, as you said. A few teams have surprised us with poor performances, which could end up being crucially beneficial to you guys in when it gets to around May, April, when
Yeah.
people start stressing. But of course, it'll be great to see Forest stay in the Prem. If
Oh,
you
of
had to
course.
give a prediction of where you're gonna finish, what would you say?
I've always said if it's just above that relegation zone, I'll be happy. It's our first season back in the Premier League since before I was born. I'm
Mm,
20 years of age. It's been a very long. It's been a very long time. You know what I mean? Since the glory
I
days,
feel that.
anyway. When we had Kevin Campbell playing, former Arsenal player.
Yeah.
We had
Kevin
Kevin
Campbell.
Campbell in the side last time we was in the Premiership, or whatever you want to call it back then. But it's gonna be a long season. I'd say I'd be happy with 17th. Anything above that is a bonus. To be honest, bro, I'll be real. At the start of the season, I did say I wanted like a 14th, maybe 13th, but again, I was looking at the league and I was like, you know what? It's a lot harder than
No,
man thinks.
definitely. But after the World Cup, when a lot of the other teams have players out, fatigue might not
Yeah,
hit up some injuries, or obviously getting kicked out of the World Cup might affect them mentally. No disrespect to Forest, but I don't think they got many players that will be going on
you're
international
right.
duty, which means Cooper will have time to build the squad, get them set up for the remaining half of the season, and you never know
Mm.
what could happen. It's the
Never know.
Premier League, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Forest
Mm,
crack on actually.
mm.
But I don't wanna leave this Ronaldo situation 'cause I feel like right now this is the big talking point.
It is.
This is massive for United, for Ronaldo. What's going on? I'm hearing he's not allowed to be with the squad for the Chelsea game. I'm
Mm.
hearing Ten Hag was not happy with the fact that he didn't want to be a sub and that there would be disciplinary. So what are you saying, Matt? If you're Ten Hag now, yeah, you freezing him out till January and then getting him gone, or are you gonna be patient?
Well, the problem with Ronaldo in this situation is I don't think Ten Hag was particularly pleased with how Ronaldo behaved during the summer. Because you remember, he wanted to leave. He made that
So there's
made it
rumors were
loud.
true, yeah.
Yeah, he made it clear and loud that he wanted to leave in the summer. Then he said that he had like some sort of family issues that meant that he couldn't be training with the team on preseason.
Mm,
But whilst he was having those family issues, he was in Portugal, like posting videos of himself training in the Portuguese facility. And then all of a sudden, he came back with like a few days left. I think no, a few days before the season started, he came back like supposedly going to have showdown talks with Ten Hag, talking about how much he wants to leave.
mm.
And so even with that, he got off to. I don't think they got off to a particularly great start with each other. And then obviously now this thing has happened, and like Ten Hag said, he has to set standards. And so if I'm Ten Hag and I'm thinking, I have to set standards. I have to let everyone else in the team know that um, I'm not going to take any sort of nonsense from anyone, regardless of what you've done in football. It's about what you're doing now. And if your behavior now isn't meeting standards, then you have to pay the price. And so if Ten Hag decides that Ronaldo is not going to play or be a part of the squad on Saturday, I'm behind him.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, there's some valid points there. I'm probably in the same boat as you, to be honest. Gotta respect the fact that no player is bigger than the club, 100%. Um, but I know it's a sensitive one because a lot of United fans are Ronaldo fans. A lot of back in the day, a lot of people didn't support United until Ronaldo came in. So I do feel like that's why there's a bit of a mixed emotion in the fan base. But end of the day, the club's the priority. The club's come first. I know we didn't have it on the same level, but the situation with Aubameyang, he had to get gone in it, and now we're benefiting from that. And I feel like it's a bit similar in terms of their age and what they can bring to the team. Both clinical finishers, but that's about it. Um, and especially if Ten Hag is looking at his board and they're saying, "Oh, we need a project. We need something that we're going to work on. We don't want to be doing just things free willy anymore. We'll have a step by step." Then obviously you can't build a team around a 36-year-old, 37-year-old. So you're gonna have to be harsh, I guess. And Ronaldo doesn't deserve to be playing Europa League anyway. So get my guy out of that club ASAP. Get me people petition, whatever. Get free Ronaldo, man. Free my guy.
Well, you said he doesn't deserve to play in the Europa League, but when we played Ammonia, I'm trying to remember what exactly he did, bro.
Because obviously, bro, he's not used to being around such poor quality players, so it's lingering him in it, destroying his skin and all that.
Yeah,
He's used to be playing against
sounds
Galacticos and
that sounds like more of an excuse than an explanation. But I hear it, bro. But
facts.
seriously, Kingsley, so if we were to sort of like just terminate his contract in January, who takes him? Do you think?
Club wise,
Yeah, because so many clubs
he
have
can't
said
stay in the
no.
Prem. He's not going to stay in the Prem.
Okay.
Well, I reckon he could definitely go back to like Sporting.
I was gonna say that it depends who
Yeah.
pays him well, though, innit? I guess as well. But
I think
then again,
he'll take a cut for Sporting.
yeah, for sure. That's what. That's
Are you sure about that, bro? I don't know. You know, I don't.
Money
think-
But then
talks,
again, at the
man.
same time, I feel like Ronaldo's gonna be like, you know what, I got a point to prove here. I'm not letting people think I'm dried out. So I reckon he will still try and push for a big move.
Mm.
And if I'm Ronaldo,
It'd be interesting to see where he goes, though.
no, trust me. But if I'm Ronaldo, I'm trying to go to Chelsea. I can't lie. I'm hearing Orba's going PSG. I'm going Chelsea.
PSG have stopped with the fairy tale Messi and
they stopped.
Ronaldo in the same team thing. Nah, they've stopped them.
No, that's what I mean. So if I'm Ronaldo, I'm trying to go Chelsea. I can't lie.
But now
Yeah,
that Chelsea have acquired Aubameyang, will they take?
Yeah, but
Ronaldo?
Aubameyang's not staying. Aubameyang's not a permanent option. He was a quick fix.
I mean,
And I feel like you'll get more.
Ronaldo will be a quick fix as well, though.
I know, but I feel like if you're doing quick fix, you'll get more out of Ronaldo than Aubameyang. People might argue with me and say, "Well, Aubameyang's been scoring goals. Ronaldo hasn't." Ronaldo's heat maps on the bench, bro.
I mean,
It's up and down the line.
So is Aubameyang's, bro. Aubameyang didn't come on until like late in the game
Yeah, no, but he played both Champions League fixtures. I'm sure he played against the 3-0 win over Wolves, and he's been bagging.
I'd say been bagging is a bit of a stretch. I can't lie.
I swear he's got 4 goals already.
Is it 4?
Yeah, got 4 goals already. I've been seeing his name creep up. I don't want to say that.
Wait, did he score against Milan? He didn't it?
He scored against Milan, yeah.
So Milan, Palace, and who else?
And didn't he score in the Wolves game?
Nah, he didn't.
He didn't score in the Wolves game.
I don't know. I think bin bagging is a bit far. Like, don't get me wrong. He's done okay. He's done well. But you know,
I'm checking the stats right now, people. He's got 3 goals. Sorry, 2 in the Champions League, 1 in the Prem.
Yeah, I mean,
in 6 appearances, he's got 3 goals.
Okay,
so he's already up there with Sancho in 2 years.
3 goals in 6. And that's
3 and 6, but 4 of those games were in the Champions League. I don't think he's been starting all of them. But I'll be real, Chelsea. Since we're talking about Chelsea, we'll delve into Chelsea real quick. Obviously, Matt, Chelsea United tomorrow, 5:30. What are you saying? What's your expectation of that game? Yeah, who do you think's gonna grab that game by the horns? Obviously, it's at Stamford Bridge as well. So, what are you telling me?
I think the maddest thing for me is that before the Tottenham game, in fact, before this week, looking at that game tomorrow, I didn't actually know what to expect from either team. Because even though Chelsea have been getting results, there's still that sort of air of uncertainty about them. I don't know. There's still something that is missing. Maybe it's because they haven't been tested properly yet under Graham Potter. Because, I mean, the Milan game was supposed to be the so-called acid test. But obviously, we all know that the red card sort of kind of changed the complexion of the game. But I want to be encouraged after that Tottenham performance, bro. I want to be encouraged. Like, I want to go into tomorrow expecting a result.
Yeah,
I
100.
always believe against the top 6 side away from home, a draw is a good result, in my opinion. Whether you're contending for the league, whether you're contending for top 4, against the top 6 side away from home, a draw is a good result. If you can get a draw,
You reckon?
and when I say
Do you
a
think
draw,
Pep would say this to his man then?
you're telling me Pep would not have taken a draw at Anfield?
Pep's not going in there saying I'm taking a draw though. Pep's Pep's
At
going
Anfield?
Pep's angry. Pep's
Pep's
angry he didn't win that
furious.
game because he's got the Haaland key now, and he should be turning around saying these games, these Liverpool, Chelsea, bogey teams this year are getting beat, but they're not. I don't think Pep would have settled for a draw. I think if Pep drew that game, he's still as frustrated as the loss because
Yeah.
when you're City and Liverpool, a draw's a loss.
I get what you're saying, but I think certain stadiums, especially for Man United, Stamford Bridge is
Any
not
stadium.
a stadium where we've particularly had a lot of success. Like I think in the last sort of 15 years, I want to say we've only won there in the league maybe twice. So it's not even a place that we historically go and get 3 points from. So if we can get a draw, and when I say get a draw, I don't mean the kind of draw that Tottenham got there, where they got completely outplayed, but somehow managed to fork out 2 goals at crucial times. No, I don't mean that kind of
Yeah, no,
draw.
I hear that.
A draw that we like, I'd say we deserve.
He played well. No, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. I hear that. Just being conscious of time today, get things rolling a bit quicker. Because there's so much to talk about today actually as well. Um, it just passed my mind as well. I meant to say at the start, but Gerrard been sacked. The
Sacked.
man, the myth, the legend, he's gone. I mean,
He got
it
sacked
was
minutes after the game.
mate. Oh, of course, man. You can't lose 3-0 to Fulham,
Yeah,
man.
crazy. But
Look,
do you know what?
I know Fulham are decent,
Good
but
side this season, man.
player for player, there's not one player that's better in that Fulham squad than the Villa.
But see, this is the thing, Kingsley. This is what I keep on trying to tell you. Gerrard did not manage to find balance in that Villa team. I know you
Yeah.
talk about he has these many players, but bro, he's got no balance. The guy he's got no wingers, and he has 2 strikers whose strengths are one strength is one weakness, and one's weakness is one strength. So he never really knows who to play. That's why he kept on tinkering with the lineup. I just think in the end, it just got too much for him. And Coutinho, who was supposed to be like his star sort of signing in January, his performances just kind of dwindled. The longer
Yeah, but we said this,
Villa
didn't we?
went.
Coutinho has one good game and then he goes for 6 weeks.
It's the inconsistency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And it's the inconsistency from even the other experienced players
Buendia.
like Ings, Bendia,
Oh,
Mings,
yeah, Mings.
even Digne that they signed in that left
Do
back
you know what?
position. He's let me down.
Bro, that's
Look,
another thing
yeah.
as well. I think he's Gerrard. A reason why I kind of feel sorry for him a bit is because he sort of suffered the consequences of the bad decision making from Dean Smith. I think the summer that they sold Grealish for 100 million and brought in all those players, I think they brought in, just like you guys mentioned, Buendia and Danny Ings. I think they made a couple of sort of dodgy signings. I particularly
No, but these are players that are Premier League proven and are quality. I would sign Danny Ings. He's
but
gonna get you goals.
but
When
I
Dia was
think
making us
I
in the Championship, Arsenal were after him. Digne was
but,
doing bits for Everton. These are not
but
players that you're signing thinking they may hit or miss. These are players you're thinking, yep, they've already been in the Prem. They've been playing for teams worse than the Prem, so they're gonna come here and do a job.
But the problem with that is if you let me just take Danny Ings for example. If you look at Danny Ings in the Premier League, his best seasons have come from playing in a 2-man sort of strike partnership. So if you're going to buy a Danny Ings, in my opinion, you need to commit to playing 2 up top. And unfortunately for Villa, their team isn't really constructed well enough to play a 2 up top. They've always when Gerrard has tried to play a diamond, they've struggled. When Dean Smith tried to play a 3-5-2, they struggled. When their most successful period under Dean Smith was when they played a 4-2-3-1 with 2 sort of a double pivot in midfield with Grealish in the 10, 2 wide players, and Watkins up front. But the problem with Watkins is his finishing is very inconsistent. The problem with Ings is he is a good finisher, but his overall game in terms of like running the channels and holding up the ball, all these other aspects of being a striker isn't particularly great. So there was just so many problems for Gerrard to contend with at the club, man.
I don't know. For me, I'm not hearing it. The squad's too powerful for their performance.
It is. He got in over his head. I just feel like he got a bit too big for his boots there, a little bit with that team. I feel like it's that being his second managerial job in it. I believe Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Like realistically, with a team like that with such a high history, fans are gonna expect a lot from a manager. A manager like him coming into with a team like they've got with Coutinho, Diego Carlos at centre back.
Ballers.
You've got all of them star players on the pitch, and they're not performing. They're gonna want answers. He's not. It was like when they came to us. Not being funny, they managed to get a point, but after the game, their fans stayed 10 minutes in the ground singing, "We want Gerrard out," loud. Like I'm right next to the away fans, and they're singing that. Yeah, it was bound to happen, man. He was digging his own grave.
I hear that. So what does that end the Gerrard Lampard managerial debate?
I guess Lampard rode the wave.
You know the thing. Like I told you before, Kingsley, Lampard has found balance and stability with this Everton side. I could go into an Everton game knowing which 11 Lampard is going to put out.
Man just slapped Iwobi in midfield and said he's a
No. Iwobi thing in midfield has been coming, bro. It's been coming.
No, wait. He's turned into a player, him. I don't get it.
Well, Matt was telling me a couple podcasts ago that when Iwobi was in the academy for Arsenal, he was a centre mid. He was telling him he's a midfielder, but Wenger was like, "No, you're going to be out wide because you're black and fast."
Bro, even for Nigeria, we play for like the past 3 or 4 years for Nigeria. We've played him in midfield.
He looks good there.
Iwobi has never been a winger.
He looks good there. Be real, like, I was surprised. He's still a bit clumsy. Like you can see it. Like he doesn't give me that 100% composed when you see other midfielders. You know what I mean? Like your Tielemans, your Thiago. Like he doesn't give me that vibe. He gives me a very erratic vibe, but because it's unpredictable, you don't know what he's gonna do next. So like 1 minute he's got his foot stuck under the ball, but then he'll just beat 3 players at the same time, and you're like, huh? But then it'll be like a 10-yard pass that needs to be made, and he's misplaced it. So that's the kind of thing for me where at Arsenal it just didn't work out with him. He was just a bit clumsy. It reminds me of Maitland-Niles as well. Maitland-Niles never gives me confidence. Like he's just the mistake is ticking. It's a ticking time bomb, innit? It's just ready to happen. Now that's why I don't think it's really worked out for him. I know he's at Southampton on loan. That's Southampton on loan, but I don't even think he's getting game time like that.
Yeah, he's
we were after him.
When he went Roma on loan, started off well, but then wasn't getting game time. I gotta be real, like, as an Arsenal fan, it's time to go, my guy. Like, appreciate the help. You covered when Bellerin wasn't there and right back. You did your little thing. You got Mardy, you wanted to play midfield, couldn't hack the midfield. It's bad when El Nenny's performing better than you in midfield. That's when you just gotta allow it. But talking about Arsenal as well, everyone here knows I'm a big Arsenal fan. Again, we just can't stop winning at the moment. If it wasn't for that crusty United game, I think it would have been 14 wins now out of 14. Instead, it's 13 out of 14. We got the 1-0 win over PSV, got the 1-0 win over Leeds. We should have beat PSV by more. I was a bit concerned about PSV because obviously they've been banging in goals. They scored 5 against Zurich. They scored 5 on the weekend. I'm like, yeah, these men are attacking threat. But these men came to sit down like Rosa Parks. It was just easy. And even Spurs played more positive football, and they're 2 negative Duracell A batteries, so it's mad. But big up PSV. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we go over there in Netherlands. See how they get on. But I'm happy to be top of the Europa League. Obviously, United fans can't say that.
No, but you know what I do want to say just quickly on Arsenal, though, and I've given him his credit before. Granit Xhaka has won the streets back, bro. Like, what a turnaround for this guy. Like, I remember the game that he threw the armband on the ground, and I remember the reaction from Arsenal fans after that game. Like, they wanted to stone him to death, literally.
Well, I was vexed, G.
And now
turned around, man.
Look at him now, bro.
Turned around, and he was this close to going Roma as well. Apparently, Xhaka was saying in an interview his bags were packed. His wife was saying, "Yeah, let's cut." But apparently, it was Arteta that said, "Yo, listen, you're gonna be in my plans. I want to do all this. He put faith in Arteta, and the faith's worked out. And I gotta give credit to Arteta for that, because I'll be real. 2 years ago, if you ever thought I'd be screaming Xhaka and Arteta's name in a positive way, bro, I wouldn't believe you. I think this is a multiverse. Big man thing. We was down in the dumps, but I rate Arteta very highly now. I think he's one of the most informed managers in Europe as of now. Obviously, things can change. Understand that. As I said last week, I'm still not
Next
thinking we're
week.
going to win the league. I'm still thinking second, third, fourth is where I'm comfortable with. The City are there, and City will always be there. And you know what? I was looking at the table, yeah, and I was deep in it. And like, I know a lot of people have cancelled Liverpool out, but bro, they're only 7 points behind City. That's 3 games. You know what I'm saying? And they beat City. This title race is not. It's
Nah,
not over.
nah,
It's not
nah,
over.
nah, 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 nah.
No. It's too early. Well, we're 10 games in, and they're 7 points away. There's 28 games left. City are not going to win 28 games.
You know what I've realized? When we're 2 games in, people say we're only 2 games. When we're 5 games, people say we're only 5 games. When we're 8 games, people say we're only 8 games. Next thing you know, we're 25 games in, and they're 12 points behind.
No, that's different. That's what I mean. That's different. One, that's a bigger gap than what it is now, and two, that's 25 games in. But when we're only 10 games in, and you're only 7 points behind the team, that's not you out of the race. I can't lie. Because
No,
what? If
no,
no,
but
listen. If City lose their next game and Liverpool win, Liverpool are 4 points behind. That's a normal title race for me. That's not they're completely out of it. That's normal. That's what we usually see them being 3-4 points behind and waiting for City to slip up. So how are we already saying Liverpool at the title race with the squad and manager they have is ridiculous. People are too reactionary, well too reactionary. All it takes is a couple injuries, couple dip in form, a couple suspensions, and things will change drastically. So, what do you think? What do you
you
think,
say
Deniro?
that, but
Because
you talk about injuries. Well, Liverpool are the ones with the injuries right now, and to be fair,
who?
bro, like let's be honest, even against West Ham, they weren't that great, bro.
They're
They're
getting the
still
three
not that
points.
great.
United weren't that great
Well,
when they were playing against Leicester and Southampton, but you're getting the 3 points.
But I'm not talking about us contending for the league, though.
No, of course, but end of the day, if you're getting the 3 points, what does it matter how you get the 3 points?
True.
You said they're getting the 3 points. It's literally just been the City and the West Ham game. Like, you know.
Yeah, but people say, oh, Liverpool have been this, Liverpool been that. They've only lost 2 games this season. They've lost
they've
one
drawn
more
how
game
many?
than City. In 10, they've lost 2 and
And
drawn
they've drawn
4.
how many?
They've drawn 4.
Bro, like you said at the beginning, draws for
A draw is
Liverpool and City
basically a
are
loss for
losses.
Liverpool, 100%. But
Yeah.
let's not make out that this team's easily getting beat. But it's not that. They've lost to Arsenal and they've lost to United.
I mean,
To be fair, that's not even a
hear
good.
I hear
That's
what
not
you're
even
saying,
a good reference.
even in some of the wins that they got, like against Newcastle, I mean, you talk about them not.
Yeah, the Newcastle one was wild.
You talk about them not getting, they're not getting beat easily. They're not winning easily either. So
No, they're not.
you know, I'm still not convinced, bro. I'm still not convinced. I still think that they might be in a top 4 battle.
I don't know. I thought they're going to be in the title race. What about you, Dino? What do you think? Title race, top 4, top 6, relegation?
What my prediction on what?
Wait, did you say top?
Wait, prediction on what I think it will be.
Liverpool still.
Okay, right. So this guy, man. I swear. No, to be fair, like you said, it's not like if there's 28 games left. Klopp's, you know what Klopp, you know what he's all about. And, you know, he's dealt with this sort of thing before with injuries. We've seen it before when that back line they had to play Williams. They were having to play flipping what's his name, Nat Phillips at centre back. Like he's done this
here
before.
turning Milan players, bro.
Yeah, like bro, like he's got Big Verge is back. He looks like he's back in form now. I feel like the way he dealt with Haaland in that game. I feel like he played well. It just shows that why again I'm a big believer in I feel like he's one of the best centre backs in the world. A lot of people have different opinions because of certain games that have gone on. But like Matt said, I feel like Liverpool have made games this season hard for themselves. Like even in that Newcastle game, I watched that. That Isaac, by the way, what a player. Newcastle as well, like as a team, they took it to Liverpool. I feel like a lot of teams are starting to do that now because they're kind of looking through Liverpool's flaws and stuff now. And when you guys beat them, it was the game. Watching the game, you can see that Liverpool, you can get to them, and that's why it gives me a bit of it gives me a little bit of a booster for the game tomorrow. I guess. I mean. Being at home,
facts. They should.
Being at home, having that home advantage, which is kind of the only thing we kind of really have to hold on to this season, bringing teams to the City ground, having that 12th man. I feel like I predicted us a loss, to be honest. I hate being negative. I genuinely do. But like with a team like Liverpool, like it's just being realistic, innit? And if we can get anything out of it, I'll be happy with it. Because Liverpool, I've grown up watching Liverpool being one of the most dominant teams in Europe. It's just one of them. But realistically, I feel like there's a lot of games left. Like you said, 28 games. Did you say it's a 7-point gap between them and City?
7 points at the moment. Liverpool on 16, City on 23.
That's 3 wins, bro.
This is what I'm saying.
Considering that City City keep on winning, but the things can happen. Like
Man,
it's
are saying
very
City keep winning, but City have dropped points to Villa already this season. They dropped points to Newcastle. They've lost to Liverpool. That's already 3 games. You can't tell me throughout this whole season that another 3 games identical to that won't happen. It will.
Well, it's like Man U, considering their start. I was with my virgin Caius when they lost to Brentford 4-0, and seeing that, they look like a completely different team now to me. Anyway, I feel like even though I watched the game when they played Ammonia and it took them obviously a whole 90 minutes to score. But I've got to give that's not even a dick. I just got to give credit to their keeper because he did a madness that game. But that's just considering the chances that Manchester United had that game because it was all Man U. But with Anthony coming in, obviously I got a question for you, Matt. To be honest, what's your take on Anthony? Because I'm a really big fan of him. To be honest.
Yeah, I think Anthony is a good player. Looks technically sound. Looks assured on the ball. He strikes the ball well as well. But for me, I'd like him to be a bit braver. I feel like he's still a bit sort of timid to take on players.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like he doesn't take on a player unless the player commits themselves to trying to tackle him. And then when he gets past them, it's like, okay, so why can't you just go at them like naturally?
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to take for them to come at you for you to, dribble past them? But besides that, though, I've been impressed with him. But like I said, I would like him to be a bit braver on the ball when it comes to taking on players.
No, for real. Very good player, man. Very talented player. It's going to be exciting to see what he does.
Yeah, he's alright.
Oh, so if you had him, let's see. If you have, he won't get in over Martinelli or
Nah, no way is he getting in over Saka right now on that right wing.
Yeah, true. You man are on fire, to be fair, right now. I'll be real. It's not the Arsenal that I'm used to seeing.
What's Saka doing?
Matt, are your lips good, bro? Are your lips good, bro?
What's Saka
Don't let this Anthony guy gash you in the what? In the Dutch league, yeah. You're getting gassed about a man in the Dutch league.
Let's break down Saka's season, bro. How many good games has Saka had this season?
What do you mean, how many good games has he had this season?
You're not ready for that convo, bro.
Okay, how many goals and assists has Saka had this season compared to Anthony?
Bro,
you're not ready for that convo.
Football's not maths. It's not maths.
I mean, football's not maths. It literally is a math. It's literally you win 1-0, 2-0. It's maths, bro.
We watch it. We watch it with our eyes, not with a calculator.
My guy. Don't be comparing Saka to Anthony, bro. That's a pointless debate. You need to be comparing Anthony to someone like Trossard or something at his level.
What? You don't think Trossard's better than Saka?
Trossard's a player still. Hat-trick against Liverpool.
Trossard is a baller, bro.
Trossard's a baller, but he's not better than Saka, bro.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't even compare the two like that. Trossard is more of a 10-ish. He's not really a winger like that.
Yeah, I think I think he's hard. Like on my FIFA careers, I buy him. I think he's hard. Good nifty little player. Trust me. 15 mil as well for you FIFA, your FM people out there is a cheap acquisition.
But yeah,
obviously
FM, man.
Time's flying by. So right now, let's get the predictions for the weekend in. Obviously, we'll start with the 12:30 kickoff, which is Forest Liverpool. Matt, what are you saying for that?
As much as I'd love Forest to win, because I don't like Liverpool, I think Liverpool probably just about nick it. Probably the same way they did the West Ham game, maybe 2-1.
2-1, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, 2-1. Deniro, what are you saying?
I want to be as positive as I can. I have to be, I'm repping my team. If there's any Forest fans, watching, it's going to be a tough one. I personally think it's going to be a big showdown. I feel like we'll come out with a lot of grit, and I feel like we'll take it to them tomorrow. I really do. I've really got a feeling that we're going to take it to them tomorrow, knowing that we're not afraid to play these big teams. I feel like they'll still take it. I'll go with a 3-1 Liverpool, but I feel like we'll go 1-0 up.
Okay. I'll just reading the comment. I didn't even see the comments. Someone
Yeah,
says,
that's big up Doran Torres as well. You know, the Forest vlogger he's put for Forest on the YouTube map for real, man. A lot of Premier League fans watch him, so
no, that's sick. Big up. Has Foden lost his voice? I'm
He
guessing
calls me
that's when we was
Foden, man.
talking about. Oh, he calls you Foden.
Because you Foden.
This guy, man, I swear. He's a joke, man. But anyway, hey, Kelly, what's your prediction, man? Yeah.
I need to know why he's calling you Foden, G.
Because when I used to have my trim when it was short, man, I used to call him
for the
like,
bowl
oh,
cut,
yes,
yeah.
Foden. I'm like, oh, really? Funny, man.
Me, I can't lie. Forest will score first, and Liverpool will reply with 5. Sorry, my guy.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm just being realistic.
Bro, remember Fred predicted 5-1 for the West Ham game, bro. Remember that?
Yeah, that's wild. The West Ham were never going to lose 5-1. But unfortunately, this is Forest, and I have to be real. Liverpool are just organised, innit? And I don't think Forest are organised enough yet to handle this game. Obviously, as I said, it's 12:30, so...
If we play like we did against Arsenal in the
Man,
FA
wake
Cup
up.
last season, I feel like we'll win.
Bro, but...
Like,
Today's a gun, my
we're
guy.
not too lot out of the cup in here.
Why is everyone using Arsenal, yeah? As the little...
I'm just going
little
off what I
chat
remember. Oh, come on, man.
The little stamp. Nah, I'm playing.
Bro, we can't change history, bro. It just is.
You can't. You can't let Lewis Grabban score. No, I'm just... What a player.
That was all Jed Spence, innit? We only lost that game because of Spence.
Jed Spence with Martinelli in his pocket. Rumor has it he's still in there.
It wouldn't happen this season though.
Because he won't probably.
Rumor has
playing.
it Spence couldn't even get off the bench.
He's not even playing.
Obviously, as Matt said, they signed him for the club.
Yeah,
anyway,
once they said they signed him for the club, yeah, he ain't playing.
Not even. But yo, City, Brighton. Matt, what are you saying?
I see it will win like 3-0.
Yeah, I said 3-0 as well. What are you saying, Deniro?
I think Brighton.
Brighton.
Wait, did you say Brighton?
These men ain't scored a goal in like what? How long?
Wait, no, just hear me out. I think City will win, but I think Brighton will score.
Shots.
I
think Brighton have had 54 shots and not scored.
Swear.
Yeah, that's that Welbeck tax, bro.
Yeah, with Welbeck up front, it's crazy. But I feel like it'll be a
Nah, don't say Welbeck tax because he had Martinez on ropes when Brighton were playing.
It's funny you say that because he had Martinez on ropes, but it was another player that scored the 2 goals. Welbeck don't score, bro. That's the problem.
Welbeck's he's there for vibes and link up, man. Alright, Chelsea United, big one. What are you saying, Matt?
You know what, bro? Same way I said I wanted Anthony to be brave, I'm gonna set the example now, fam. 2-1 United.
2-1 United.
2-1 United.
I want to know what you been smoking. I'm on that.
Wait, who are they playing?
Chelsea
at the bridge. I'm saying 0-0 still. What about you, Deniro? I'm saying
that would be a horrible game, man.
It is gonna be a horrible game, man.
1-0.
1-0, yeah. I can. Excuse me. It feels like a draw. I'll be real. Yo, that's that Papa John's coming out. No copyright infringement. I prefer Pizza Hut.
That
anyway.
Babylon I've got.
And then obviously Southampton go against the best team in England at the moment. What are you saying, Matt?
St. Mary's?
St. Mary's still.
Ooh. 1-1.
1-1. Bro, what are you smoking, G?
I almost got the Leeds one, bro.
I'm saying Arsenal 2-0 win. What about you? Do you know what you're saying?
Southampton 5-1.
Bro, take me back to what year was it? Was it 2016? 2016 when they pumped you lot 4-0 there, bro.
No. I'm labbing. 2-1 Arsenal.
No, they violated that day, bro. They even remind me of that. That was painful, fam. Man must have thought we were Sunderland, bro. That was painful. And then lastly, Tottenham. I think it's lastly. I don't think there's a game on Monday. Oh, there is West Ham Bournemouth. We'll talk about Tottenham, Newcastle. That's a big game as well. There's Newcastle up there trying to push in for the top 4 right now. What are you saying, Matt? What's the scores on the doors?
Is it at St James's or at
No,
Tottenham?
that's at the Tottenham Stadium still.
Regardless, I'm going with a Newcastle win, 2-1.
Even though you was telling me Newcastle quite poor away.
But I didn't say they're poor away. I said they haven't got a significant victory away. This is going to
Which
be
means they're poor away, innit?
No. But when I mean significant victory, I mean like against like a top side.
Okay.
But this is going to be it. Hopefully.
I think it's going to be 1-0 Tottenham. They're going to play their negative football again. Son's going to make a mad run. Kane's just going to boot it as hard as he can. And
Or
Son will
Kane
do
is
the
just
rest.
all Kane is just going to fall over and keep his face like he did on Saturday.
Hey. That's our England captain you're talking about. You put respect on his name, man. Clown, fam. Clown. Listen, big man thing. Like, I want to see Tammy Abraham or Ivan Toney get some minutes for England.
Ivan Toney.
I need to see him. Ivan Toney's milking it, bro. I need to see him get some minutes for England, man. He offers something different.
Yeah, Ivan Toney's crazy still.
And he will get behind.
Bro.
You know, whilst as an England fan, well, ex-England fan, after the Euros, I can't even support you, man. Still, not because of the players, but because of the fans. You man,
Yeah,
certain
man, I'm
fans
Italian anyway.
Cost me. So just know, people, this World Cup, I'm supporting Senegal. I will happily talk about England because of the players, but I'll be real. Even as an Arsenal fan, I want to see England come last in the group stages, get a nice good break, ready for the Prem. I'll be real. I just want to see my players back. Obviously, Reece is out. Who else is out? Walker's out. So it's looking like.
I think there's some people that initially were thought to be out, but they may
be in.
Sneak in, yeah. Walker.
I need Reece and Walker to be back in because I'm not trying to see Ben White have to go. 100%.
But wait, quick question.
I don't want to hear Tripp. If you mention Trippier, bro, just skip on, innit?
No. Do you think he'll play Ben White right wing back though?
Well, you think he's gonna do the wing back thing?
No, 100%.
Yeah, he will.
Is he a clown?
I mean, I would say yes, but you know.
Bro, we have one wing back and he's average, and that's Chilwell.
Yeah, he's av.
Yeah, it is.
We don't have wing backs like that. What's he trying to do?
He needs
Just
to
play
use
the 4-2-3-1, man.
He won't do it, bro.
You have the perfect players for a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Stop complicating the thing, Southgate. Come on, man.
Oh man, get the football manager.
This free at the back business, bro. We're not. What's it called, bro? We're not Bulgaria or them man there. Like, what are we doing free at the back?
I said Bulgaria.
No disrespect to the Bulgarians, of course. But big man thing, we shouldn't be playing free at the back. I'm saying we. Them man shouldn't be playing free at the back. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day, 100%. So obviously we got the score predictions in. When we come back on Monday, we'll do the tallies of the points, see what going. But it's looking like an exciting weekend. I'm hoping as a gunner, we'll stay on top for another week. I don't think there's any midweek games in the Prem next week. Double check. Finally,
next Sunday. I know that.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So what we'll do is, for now, just before we wrap up, is anything you might feel like you want to say regarding the weekend or in general? I think we covered on everything. Oh yeah, congratulations to Benzema for the Ballon d'Or. A bit late with that. We didn't mention it last podcast. Wasn't surprised to see him win it though. He had a good year. To be fair for me though, if he goes and wins the World Cup as well, I feel like that's the most decorated trophy collection a single player could get in a year.
What a player though, man. He was just shadowed. He's been shadowed for too many years, man. It's about time he's come out and started shining, man. Benzema's in my opinion, one of the best strikers. One of the best strikers right now. So
no, he's just a hyped up Giroud for me, you know. I can't even
lie.
I'll be real.
That's blasphemous, bro.
How can you compare the both, please? Don't compare. You cannot compare Giroud.
Giroud would do the same thing in that realm to the top that Benzema does.
Kingsley's trolling. I think because I'll be honest, I've been a Benzema fan for the longest time.
Yeah,
I will admit that there was a period during those Ronaldo years where like his output goal wise was a bit like it was looking a bit fraudulent in the light, bro.
Yeah, even in the BBC.
Yeah. But besides that, Ronaldo's left and he's taken up the mantle. He's a complete striker. Like Benzema is my type of striker.
Yeah, no, it's hard.
Like a striker that's able to do everything, whether that's link the play, whether that's hold it up, whether that's run the channels, whether that's even dribble a bit, finishes.
Shout out Vinicius though. Vinicius put him on.
Yeah. Shout out Vinicius as well. And one thing, and I'm not trying to come across as a hater for this, but thank goodness Real Madrid won the CL, because for me, in my opinion, I wouldn't have been able to stand it if Sadio Mane won that Ballon d'Or, bro. For me, that his season last season in its entirety was not good enough for him to win the Ballon d'Or. And if they'd won the Champions League, he probably would have won it. So
yeah, they would have won it because obviously he won the African Cup of Nations, innit?
Yeah, and even in that tournament, I didn't think he was that great in the AFCON either. So anyway, besides that, Benzema all day, every day.
I hear you that. Lastly, Deniro. I don't know if you saw, but Gavi got the Golden Boy awards. Do you think that was a fair shout, or was there any other players that you thought could have had their hands on it?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell with some of these, with these young players that are playing for, like your sides, like your Real Madrids and Barcelona's, like you can tell with a player like that, his name's gonna be in headlines for years to come. There's players like that. You could mention your Vinicius as well. All these players that are gonna come. They're gonna get much older. We're gonna be hearing about them for years to come anyway. But Gavi's a good, tidy little player. Anyways, he's good for. He does his thing. So
I hear that, Matt. I saw you come off mute when I mentioned Golden Boy. What you got something to say, rude boy?
Wait, Gavi won the Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, bro. I think one of his teammates was probably more qualified for that award than he was.
Pedri.
Pedri, 100%.
Yeah, Pedri. To be fair,
Pedri's levels above him, in my opinion.
I think they're looking at it age-wise though, because Gavi's 2 years younger than him.
So yeah, but isn't Golden Boy under 21s?
No, it is. But what I'm saying is, if that 17-year-old is performing in the same team as the 19-year-old, they're gonna look at the 17-year-old and give him more praise, even if he plays average. But he's 17.
I hear
what I'm saying.
I-
Because for me personally, I would have gave it to either
Bellingham.
Pedri or Bellingham.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're just being more consistent, and especially in the international stage. But shout out to Gavi because he gets picked for Spain as well. So obviously, I don't watch the Spanish Liga as some people would. So some people might argue against me and be like, "No, Gavi's clear." So yeah, I can only focus on Prem.
Trust me, he's not clear, bro. Trust me, he's not clear. He's not clear. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, Gavi's good, but dare I say it, Barca fans come for me. At times, he looks like a Sergio Roberto regen, bro. At times.
I'm not mocking it.
So we'll see what his career comes to, though.
I'll see that. But no, thank you guys. It's been the 620 podcast. We'll be back again on Monday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Have a good weekend, everyone. Come on, you Gunners. As always.
You read.
Yeah.